Welcome back, trainers. So I was able to take Melmetal out and put it up against various different Pokemon to see how well it will perform. I was lucky enough to still have snowy weather, so its Flash Cannon was getting a bit of boost there. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. And as far as performance-wise, how did I like it? Well, let me say this, it's definitely no Deoxys. It's not going to fade anytime soon, and you're going to be able to stay in that fight for a good amount of time, depending on what you're going up against. So, I mean, just a pure Steel type with a good amount of stamina to it, which we're going to go over all those stats in just a moment. So it's broken right now. It says plus 10 for every quick move, so just focus on the Flash Cannon. So we have 100 damage, basically the same as Metagross's 2 charge bar move. And that's another thing we need to talk about. So mine is currently sitting at 200 HP right on the dot, which is fairly nice. It's going to be able to take those hits, and it's doing 120 damage in snowy weather, which was for every battle that you're about to see here. So let's go ahead and take a look at its stats and its moves to see what is going to be the best option for you when you evolve yours. Alrighty, so we're over here on Game Info, so we're going to use a different site for once. Let's go ahead and go over Melmetal stats. Attack 231, Defense 213, and Stamina 264. Max CP at 100% IV, 3,875. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go over its weaknesses. It's going to be weak to Fire, Ground, and Fighting. Now, check out the resistances. It's going to be resisting Dragon, Ice, Psychic, Normal, Grass, Steel, Bug, Rock, Flying, Fairy, and Poison. Okay, that looks great. So, doesn't look too bad as far as resistances go. As far as the weaknesses, Fire, Ground, and Fighting, you have Machamps, Charizards, Moltres, Ground types, Groudon, and a few others. So, yes, it does have some threats, but at the same time, it does have a nice resistance list. But let's go ahead and look at the moves to see if it's even going to be worthwhile. Right, so for Melmetal's moves, we have Thundershock for the quick move. And something new here we're going to be seeing is the EPS, that is energy per second, how fast it is going to be able to charge up its charge move. The higher that number, you see 13.3, the better. The lower, the slower it's going to charge up that charge move there. Now, for the charge move themselves, we have Hyper Beam, Flash Cannon, Rock Slide, and Thunderbolt. Personally, I think you're going to want Rock Slide for sure, and then maybe Flash Cannon. So that's a pretty good combination. You're going to be able to hit those flying type Pokemon and any other sort of dragon threat, I suppose, and then you're going to be able to cover those rock and ground type mixtures with Flash Cannon doing super effective damage, as well as some fairies. So that looks like some pretty good coverage there. So it's not completely losing out when it comes to moves, but when it comes to other steel type Pokemon, well, Metagross is just going to be taking the cake on that. But then again, it has less defense, equaling faster charge moves. So it could possibly be neck and neck. I would love to do a side-by-side comparison, but as it stands, yes, of course, Metagross is going to be the better one, but Melmetal may work for certain situations considering it is a pure steel type and does not have that part psychic. So say they go up against a Tyranitar with, I don't know, Bite and Crunch, which is going to be super effective towards Metagross. Melmetal, on the other hand, is going to be able to dish out super effective Flash Cannon damage while not taking super effective hits from those dark types. Unless it does have Fire Blast, that Tyranitar, then Melmetal is going to be in a little bit of trouble. As a matter of fact, I went up against a Tyranitar with Fire Blast in these gym battles. As you will see, I dodged it, of course. But also take note, the dodging in a lot of these are going to be bad. And that's another thing we need to go over. Let's talk about that. Okay, so Melmetal's design looks awesome, right? Big giant metal thing, has 2 black nuts in the side of it, I suppose. I don't know if those are like rubber substances. So everything about it seems pretty cool to me. I like it. And the only problem is it's so humongous that it makes it difficult to see what your opponent is actually doing. A lot of the times I kind of go off of the Pokemon's movement pattern, whether or not it's about to use its charge move or not. You can go off sound, but that's not always 100% reliable. I kind of need to see the Pokemon. And a skilled enough player would know, I suppose. But at the end of the day, if it's blocking your side of view, I mean, it's blocking your side of view. No matter how good you are, it's still going to be a little bit difficult to maneuver with this big old tank. All right. Other than that, yeah, it's fun to use. It's cool to see it in there, you know, big metal giant doing its thing. I really wish I could have 2 moves right now because, wow, I would really enjoy that. Because one big Flash Cannon, it's doing work, but it is snowing. Let's keep that in mind. So it is boosted. it's going to be doing less damage otherwise. And also, it still has some more room to be powered up to dish out even more damage also. I would have loved to see it have another quick move. Thunder Shock, I mean, come on. Just one? I mean, it's not horrible. It is a great move to charge up your charge moves, for sure. But it's a very weak one at that. Now, if it does have rock moves, not very effective, very nice. Stone Edge does come in extremely quick with literally no time to dodge if you don't know how to. And if that is the case, it's not going to be taking that much damage if you have a decently powered up one, right? As you've seen already in the very first battles, okay? So I just wanted to clear that up. Obviously, you guys know I'm a good dodger. So yeah, it was a bit tricky at first, I'll tell you that. But when PvP does come out, if you're even allowed to use Melmetal, dodging is not even a thing, so you don't even need to worry about that, right? And if you're going up against a raid, I would assume the camera would be back just a little bit farther, making it a lot more simple to see what you're doing. Not that it really matters. So I did take it up against a Gengar raid. It was not exciting whatsoever. It didn't put off much damage, and it's just simple as that. If I went up against maybe a Sharpedo with all, I don't know, electric moves like Thunder Shock and then Thunderbolt, that's what I was looking for, and I will keep hunting those down and bring it to you at another time. But for now, let's go ahead and go over their IVs. Look at this, 82%, 82%, level 30, level 30. The only difference is the IVs. We have 12 in attack, 15 defense, and 15 stamina for the Melmetal, and then 14 attack, 10 defense, and 13 stamina for the Metagross. The Metagross is going to have the bigger advantage because, like we've always went over and we established a long time ago, the lower the defense, the more charge moves you're going to be able to get off, and the faster it's going to charge. So this one has 15 in defense, the Melmetal, so it's going to take a little bit longer. But on the flip side, its defense for its base stats is lower. Therefore, it's going to be able to charge it up still pretty good. Now, with that aside, Metagross is simply better. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, right? It has Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash. Its attack is higher, and it's just doing way more damage. As you can see, Melmetal over here, both 82%. Yes, the attack is lower. And like we said, the Metagross has a bit of more advantage, but it's not by, a little DPS. Melmetal's sitting at 23.5 and Metagross is at 37.0 flat. Like, don't even talk to me, get out of my way, said Metagross to Melmetal. So the big question is, why in the world would you want this Pokemon? And why would you strive to get it so badly? So for instance, if you do not even have a Switch and you have to walk a Melmetal, forbid, my goodness, I couldn't imagine how long that's going to take. And if you're doing that, just a little heads up, you might as well just dump rare candies into it, guys. You'll be doing that for years. I mean, depends on how long you walk. I don't know. Because that's a long time. 30 kilometers. That's like another 10 on any legendary. That's insane. And for the people walking Meltan, sorry, I'm really not trying to discourage you. Go for it and, get it done for sure. So, what do you want to use this for? Let's get right back onto the subject. For attacking wise, well, in Pokemon Go, when PvP comes out, it could find some usability for sure. Dropping it in a gym for the wow factor, everybody's going to see like, wow, it's a Melmetal, I'm going to attack it immediately and take it out of the gym. So don't expect to have your Melmetal last too long in a gym because it's going to attract people immediately to take it out. Now, with that said, too, what does it have going for it? It has a ton of resistances, actually. I mean, it has that. And it does have Rock Slide. So, PvP, goodbye legendary birds. Moltres, yes, it will hurt you. But what if you have Rock Slide ready to go and then Moltres comes in? That's going to do a lot of damage to it. Especially with the 2 charge bar move and Metal's massive HP. You might be able to last through that Moltres, especially if you use your shield, and then hit it with Rock Slide or any other flying type dragons as well. And you also have Articuno. It's going to be ice and flying type. Both of those are going to be weak to rock, so it's going to be taking massive damage from Melmetal. And on the flip side, you're going to be steel resisting that ice. That is if you're even going to be able to use this thing in PvP. It does have that, but the main use for this thing is basically to transfer it over into Pokemon Let's Go. Yeah, because once you do that, it is a steel type, pure steel at that, massively tanky, has good attack, and that exclusive move, Double Iron Bash, that is not in Pokemon Go. So I personally have been going up against this online when other people are using it. It's not horrible. I mean, if you have a fire type Pokemon, Charizard Y, Fire Blast, I'm pretty sure Metal is still going to survive that. Yeah, it's super effective, but yeah, it's not going to kill it in one hit, I'm pretty sure. It's insane. This thing is pretty tanky. So yes, Pokemon Let's Go is basically what you're going to want to use it for. And that is what I explained in my last video, saying that this is the reason why I evolved the lower IV one, is because I'm going to transfer it into Let's Go. I'm going to fix those IVs, and then I have a 15, 14, 15 currently that I'll evolve later down the road, because as you can see, obviously this is not something that you need to evolve immediately. I need to go battle with this because, oh my goodness, look how well it's performing. No, and that was sarcasm. It's not performing horribly by any means. I'm not personally regretting it. This is why I'm here, to just let you guys know. Trainers, so there you have Melmetal. Now that I have double iron bashed it myself, it's not too horrible. No, honestly, it's fun to use, and it looks pretty cool. I personally think I like the way it looks. Anyways, so there you have it, trainers. Can't wait to bring it into Pokemon Let's Go. Otherwise, using it in PvP could prove useful. So, with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.